Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Our source material today is really something quite profound. Paul Kalanithi's When Breath Becomes Air.
An incredible memoir. Became a huge cultural touchstone almost immediately.
It really did. It's this account of a neurosurgeon, Paul Kalanithi, who was, right at the peak of his career.
Defined by this intense drive, right? This perfectionism.
Exactly. And then bam, and a diagnosis of inoperable lung cancer. He was only 37.
Our mission today, I think, is to dig a bit deeper than just the summary.
Right.
We want to pull out those really potent insights, the specifics of how he navigated that shift from doctor to patient.
Yeah, what made his reflections on mortality just so resonant?
Think of this as maybe a shortcut to its core wisdom.
And we really have to start where the book starts, with that absolutely terrifying moment Kalanithi described.
Yeah.
He's a top surgeon looking at CT scans. His eyes are trained thousands of hours.
He knows exactly what he's seeing.
Instantly. Cancer, widely disseminated. Just everywhere. Lungs, spine, liver. Gone.
Which is, clinically speaking, that's it. The end of the line. Visual proof of a terminal reality.
And then the twist. The just unbelievable gut punch realization.
Its own body.
His own stance. The guy whose whole identity was about fighting death, holding brains in his hands. Suddenly, he is the terminal case.
That kind of shock.
Yeah.
It's not just physical, is it? It's like an existential bomb went off.
Totally. And to really get how huge that collapse was, you need to see the life he was living right before, the sheer intensity.
Our sources talk about this background of just
Yeah.
relentless striving, exceptional achievement.
Yeah, this wasn't just a smart guy. He was driven by these deep questions. Went to Stanford Med School, obviously, but before that, English literature. A postgraduate degree.
Which is fascinating, right? Because it wasn't really separate for him. Even studying literature, he was tackling the big stuff, the meaning of it all.
His thesis topic tells you everything.
Does. The medicalization of personality in Walt Whitman.
So he's thinking about how health and illness define us way before it becomes personal.
But eventually, just thinking about it in a library, it wasn't enough.
Right. He got tired of the theory. He wanted, and these are his words, action, real responsibility. Answers that are not in books. He needed real stakes.
And that move into medicine, it really cemented this idea for him that it was, well, a moral quest, a calling, not just a 9-to-5.
Oh, yeah. He had some pretty strong views on colleagues choosing easier paths.
Radiology, dermatology,
Yeah.
things with better hours, maybe better pay. He was quite critical.
He didn't pull any punches there.
No, not at all. He felt those lifestyle considerations were egotistical. Stated it pretty bluntly, actually.
What was the quote?
Putting lifestyle first is how you find a job, not a calling.
Ouch. Yeah. So for him, medicine wasn't just a job. It was the ultimate arena for those philosophical questions he started with in literature, but now with literal life and death hanging in the balance.
Which is why neurosurgery made sense for him.
Had to be the hardest one.
The most punishing, yeah. He was drawn to that unforgiving call to perfection. It wasn't about ego or status.
It was about operating right at the absolute limit.
And the demands of that training.
Yeah.
Residency.
Yeah.
They sound just terrifying.
Over 100 hours a week.
And the precision needed, the stakes are just unbelievably high.
Yeah.
Failure isn't just a bad outcome, it's catastrophe.
There's that one story, that supervisory moment, that just nails it.
Oh, yeah.
He's operating deep in someone's brain. His mentor asks him, okay, what if you're off by just 2 millimeters?
Okay, so Kalanithi probably guesses based on experience. Maybe double vision, something tough, but survivable.
Right. But the supervisor's answer?
What was it?
Locked-in syndrome.
Wow, locked in. So the difference between a functioning life and basically being buried alive is 2 millimeters.
That's the control he mastered. That's who he was. The person who could prevent that.
And that entire identity, built on control, it's about to just shatter.
He's 36, finishing training, planning a family with his wife, Lucy.
The future seemed mapped out.
And then this awful back pain starts. Can't shake it, and he's losing weight fast.
The book captures that horrible waiting period, the limbo, before it's official.
Or the doctor in him knows, but the patient hasn't caught up. Or doesn't want to.
He's carrying this awful knowledge alone.
Until Lucy finds his phone. His search history.
Oh, man. What did she find?
Just a query, but devastating. Frequency of cancers in 30 to 40-year-olds.
So he's researching his own likely diagnosis, hiding it.
Even from her. But what gets me is he keeps working.
Right, even with the pain, dosing up on ibuprofen. He pulls a 36-hour shift just days before the diagnosis comes.
Using the operating room as like a shield, a distraction from his own reality.
And then the diagnosis hits.
Yeah.
And that identity crisis just explodes.
He writes about being the pastoral figure for patients, guiding them.
And suddenly he's the sheep, lost and confused.
Yeah.
Going from having the answers to desperately needing them.
Which leads him to that incredible line about mortality, the paradox.
Yeah, that line, it just stops you. Say it again.
He wrote, "Before my cancer was diagnosed, I knew that someday I would die, but I didn't know when. After the diagnosis, I knew that someday I would die, but I didn't know when."
Let's just, yeah, let that sink in.
It sounds so simple, right?
Yep.
But it completely dismantles a lifetime built on scientific certainty.
The certainty of death becomes real, tangible, but the timing, still totally unknown. What does that do to someone who lived by planning everything?
It must create this unbearable tension, cognitive dissonance.
Definitely. Kalanithi, the ultimate planner, the guy with the 40-year career map. His first instinct is to go back to what he knows.
Statistics, data.
Exactly. He starts obsessing over survival curves, trying to figure out the timeline so he can plan what's left.
Is it 3 months? Focus on family? A year? Write the book. 10 years? Maybe get back to surgery.
He's trying to treat himself like one of his own cases.
A data point.
Find the average outcome for someone like him.
And this is where the doctor part of him completely fails the patient part.
How so? He realizes that all those averages, the probabilities, yeah, they're useful for doctors making treatment decisions for groups of people.
But for one individual patient,
They offer almost nothing. Little meaning for a patient, he says. The data just can't bridge that emotional, existential gap.
that feels like the absolute core of the book, doesn't it? That realization.
It's the philosophical pivot. Statistics give you cold facts, patients need warmth, meaning authenticity.
Yeah. He lands on this incredible insight. Say it again, the bit about authenticity.
He says, what patients seek is not scientific knowledge that doctors hide, but existential authenticity each person must find on her own.
Wow.
And he concludes, the angst of facing mortality has no remedy in probability. It's a complete rejection of the quantifiable world he mastered.
So if the numbers can't tell you what to do, how do you choose? How do you move forward?
That's the massive question he faces. And his answer, since certainty isn't an option, he chooses life.
In what way?
He makes this, frankly, radical decision to basically assume he'll live a long time despite the odds.
So he goes back to work.
He goes back to the operating room, yeah, once his treatment stabilized him a bit.
Yeah.
And this is huge. He and Lucy start IVF
They decide to have a child.
to start the family they'd planned, even with his death sentence hanging over him.
That choice,
Yeah.
bringing new life into the world while facing the end of your own, it's just immensely powerful.
And that conversation he had with Lucy about it, about their daughter, Caddy, it just lays bare the clarity he found.
What was the conversation?
Lucy asked him, straight up, the toughest question possible. Wouldn't saying goodbye to a baby make dying even more painful? Wouldn't that love amplify the suffering?
God, that's brutal. What did he say?
His reply is just,
Yeah.
it's everything. He just said, simply, wouldn't it be great if it did?
Wow.
Just think about that. Wouldn't it be great if it did?
It completely reframes pain.
Exactly. It's not about wanting suffering. It's this profound statement that meaning, connection, love,
Yeah.
it's all so valuable that the pain of losing it is actually proof of its worth.
Choosing meaning over avoiding pain.
Even the ultimate pain. And you have to remember, Caddy was only 9 months old when he died at 37. That choice, that conversation, it's his legacy.
So stepping back from the details.
Yeah.
What's the big takeaway here from this deep dive? It's more than just a sad story about a doctor.
Oh, much more. The real power of when breath becomes air, I think, is how it insists so eloquently that we're all facing mortality every single day, whether we think about it or not.
Kalanithi just had his awareness brutally forced upon him. His timeline got accelerated.
Right? It really becomes a kind of manual for living. It captures that shift we all probably need to make sooner or later.
Which is?
The key question isn't how long do I have? Because honestly, who knows? Diagnosis or not, it's always uncertain.
The real question is, how will I live?
Exactly. What gives your life weight? What connections matter? What values will you live by?
And it's beautiful how it comes full circle, isn't it?
How so?
The sources mention that the diagnosis pushed him back to the poetry, the books he left behind when he went into medicine.
Ah, right. Scientific answers failed him in the end.
So he returned to the humanities, to literature, to find that that existential footing.
She started looking for answers in Whitman, tried to find them in the absolute precision of surgery.
And ultimately found them back in the messy, difficult questions of poetry and love.
So if his path, this intense pursuit of scientific knowledge and achievement, didn't give him the final answer on how to live,
Well, it makes you think, doesn't it?
it forces you, the listener, to ask yourself.
Yeah. What big thing are you relying on right now to define your life, your job, your status, your plans?
And maybe, what do you need to put down?
Or conversely, what old passion, what dusty book, what relationship, how you ignored that you might need to pick back up?
To find your own way to that. Existential authenticity.
That's the real homework Kalanithi leaves us all with, I think.